What is up, guys? You are coming with me on a quick little car wash. Let's get that touchless joint going. Watch some cameras. Bam! There we go. Let's switch it over to car wash mode. We can see what's going on. So in today's video, let's do a little bit of a ride. We'll go look for another spot to go do a quick video. And while we're doing that, I'm going to talk about the price and process for unlocking a G80, G82, F97, which is the X3M, which is after 2020. If you're getting a G80 or G82, M3, M4, you cannot unlock the ECU here in the US yet. This is as of early December. You have to pull the ECU out and send it over to Finland. And yes, it is a Russian company. When you wire the money, it's going to Russia. I didn't realize that until the wiring instructions came, but it is what it is. The car's obviously driving just fine now. But I'm making this because a lot of people ask and they say, you know, downpipe and tune, and all of a sudden you're 700, 750 wheel horsepower. And while it's not completely incorrect, you're missing a lot of the steps. You know, I was without my car for about a week and a half while the ECU was over in Finland. There was an entire month and a half, if not more, to do a flex fuel tune using Paul Johnson tunes. You know, you hear about downpipes and you think, oh, downpipes are super cheap. They're like, what, 450 bucks? A tune, that couldn't be that much either. So for what, like $1,000, the dude's making 750 wheel horsepower? That's not the case. So just a quick preface this. We're sitting inside a 2023 BMW M3 Competition X Drive. It does have that all-wheel drive. The software that I'm using for tuning is BootMod BM3 tuning software. I'm also running XHP for transmission. I don't have any custom settings. It is just super simple. I have drag mode enabled with a high pedal engagement point. Other than that, no other settings were taken care of. I also have a flex fuel sensor, so I can run anything from just straight 93 octane to E70. I could run E80. The high pressure fuel pump wasn't too happy above that, but there's no point of running anything more than E55. That's where I make the most power. If I run E60, E70, there's no point. It just won't make any more power that as of the way that the tune is configured right now. But I wanted to talk about just the process and the price. So maybe I talk about the price now, and I'll talk about the process of from when I picked up the car to break in to sending in the ECU. That itself was an adventure. To the logging process, there probably were close to 50 logs, if not more, to get the car to where it is right now. Plug gapping, making sure that everything is where it needs to be. So let's just jump into the pricing. I think that we're almost done with the car wash as we head over to find a location for a quick video. I'll drive in and talk about the pricing. So the very first thing is you have to purchase the BootMod license. You have to purchase that before you send it off to Femto. The reason why is because VIN have to be associated with the BM3 license before your ECU gets to Femto. They will not unlock it with the custom ROM features if your ECU VIN is not tied to your BM3 license. So the license price itself, you can probably get Christmas specials right now, but I think they offer maybe 15% off, something like that. But the total price for BM3 alone, which included one map, I went with multi-map, that price was $595. On top of that, you can grab a Wi-Fi adapter. You need to be able to connect to your ECU. You could get a Ethernet cable and an adapter, and that's maybe 30 bucks, which is probably the cheapest way. I went with the Wi-Fi adapter, which is this thing right here. It makes life super easy, especially for logging. And it doesn't really add more than a second on to the time in terms of flashing maps. The maps themselves take 8 to 9 seconds to update once you get your revisions and to flash the ECU. So it's super easy. So we're $595 for the BM3 license. We're $100 for the Wi-Fi adapter. XHP, totally optional, but I'm looking to get every 10th of a second out of this thing. I paid $462 for that. Again, I use that Wi-Fi adapter to be able to flash the XHP software. Next up is the Femto unlock. You even have to pay for shipping to get it over there. That was $300. The shipping back is actually included in their price, which wasn't horrible. So that price was $1,600 to have them unlock it with custom ROM. Something they used to do is charge a little extra for their remote start function to be enabled, but as of January of this year, that's no longer an option. It's just automatically included. So I call it $1,600, which includes the shipping back for the Femto unlock, but it's not in our currency, so that'll fluctuate. So it depends on what the dollar is doing that day, but expect to pay between $1,500 to maybe $1,700 for that unlock. The Flex Fuel Kit, which is actually underneath the back seat, that sits, I got the hat mount on top of the fuel pump in the back here. That BM3 Flex Fuel Kit was $599 to be able to run the downpipes and get your stage 2. I paid $459. I might have gotten a little bit of discount because I bought it during the holiday. But the downpipes were super cheap. The air intakes, I did not do intakes, I just did air filters. So BMC air filters were $150. You know, just little details that add up. On my original exhaust, I did a Active AutoWorks single resonated mid-pipe. That was $1,800. You know, all of that stuff adds up. The tune itself, to be able to do a flex fuel tune, run 93 octane or E30. Right now I just filled up with 93. I'm running at E20 and it'll adjust for that. So the Paul Johnson flex fuel tune was $1,050. So my original stage 2 dialed in setup, not including tax or any installation, was $7,100. So that's how much a downpipe and tune setup cost me. I have been extremely happy with it. The car sounded amazing. I ended up making a switch and I got rid of the Mad downpipes and the Active Auto Works mid pipe. I got rid of that, and I wanted something a little bit more straight through and something that saved a little bit more weight, especially getting rid of the factory muffler system. That itself was over 88 pounds, so I switched over to a Boost Logic, basically turbo back. I got their downpipes, which are catless, crossover pipe, and titanium exhaust, and I paid well over $6,000 for that. But planning for success and planning for the future, what I'm looking to do is just be one of the fastest G82s, and every little ounce that I could save is going to help in the future. Boost Logic knows their shit. They have some of the fastest GTRs, some of the fastest Audis. They started off with Supras, and the S58 all the time is compared to the 2JZ. The Drift Bros did a great comparison between the S58 and the 2JZ. So Boost Logic, they know their stuff. They have cars that make 2,500, 3,000 horsepower. And if they say go with this dual 3-inch setup, I looked it over. They pointed out some of the bottlenecks that were in my single resonated mid-pipe, and because of those bottlenecks, I could see where the gains would come from. And sure enough, I am running better 60 to 130 times. My quarter mile dropped 0.2 of a second. So overall, that's been a great experience, and it's only going to be that much better once I go single turbo. So hopefully in about a month or so, I'll be able to get in. I already put my deposit down, paid for half of that. So ready to go single turbo and just be that much faster. But any questions on the unlock process, happy to answer those. I can walk through the actual process of sending the ECU over using DHL. I did a trick of throwing in an air tag to be able to track it, the ECU, and believe it or not, globally I was able to see exactly where it was. It stopped through Germany. The ECU made a stop home in Germany. I saw that. It was super cool being able to track it, see exactly where it was, and just give me a little bit of confidence, because it did sit in customs for a few days because of one small step that was missed by the DHL agent. Sucks that it took a little extra time, but I was able to get it back. All's good, and happy to share just what I've learned. Here we are, top of another parking garage. You now have all the costs, and doesn't look like we have that fantastic of a sunset, but I have a clean car, and I'm going to get a quick video. Let's see how this one turns out, and if it's all good, I'll post it after this. But until then, I appreciate you for watching. Leave a message if you can, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Peace!